Welcome to Psych Hustle. My name is Chloe.
I'm Phoebe.
And I'm Yong Han. So, Phoebe, I heard you spent a few $100s on BTS' latest single Butter.
Well, don't make it sound like a crime. It's well below the average of what BTS fans spend on merchandise and tickets every year.
Just the other day, I overheard my friend saying that she spent a few $100s collecting photo cards of her favorite boy band member.
Only a few hundred? I see people flexing $1,000 worth of merchandise on TikTok. Hey, why not we talk about celebrity worship today? Let's expose all these people.
You're really calling me out today. But what exactly is celebrity worship actually? It's not just about me spending money, right?
Okay, let me see. According to the internet, celebrity worship is an intense admiration and reverence of an idol. Oh no. Phoebe.
What?
I think I'm guilty too. I really like Kim Seon-ho from 2 Days One Night.
Pretty sure this episode is going to be relatable to many people out there. So go and get your cup of coffee because today we will be chatting about self-esteem and self-evaluation and their roles in celebrity worship. Age and gender differences. Do boys and girls fanboy or fangirl differently? Also, comparing ourselves to celebrities. What sort of consequences does it bring about? And before we end off, we'll also be talking about some real-life examples like China's recent cleansing of the entertainment industry and what happens when celebrity worship goes out of hand.
Wow, that's a long list. We better get started then.
So Phoebe, is it true that youths in fan clubs have lower self-esteem and are more afraid of negative evaluation? And if it's true, does it apply to you? Don't worry. It's not an interview.
I think so. I definitely feel really bad about myself whenever I can't get my hands on the latest albums and merchandise. It really feels like I'm letting my idols down. It is my duty as a member of the BTS army to support them as much as I can after all. Oh, and the disappointed looks from my friends whenever they realize I don't have the latest merchandise definitely makes me feel even worse.
You sound like you have a lot of experience. So when do you start idolizing singers like BTS?
When I was 11, I was a huge fan of One Direction. All my friends in class loved them too, and we were so excited whenever a new song or new merch was released.
Oh my god, yes. I remember being a huge fan of Selena Gomez and all my other friends wanted to be just like her too. I even asked my mom to buy me the same shirt that Selena Gomez had and even wanted the same hairstyle. Oh my gosh.
Same. I also started idolizing Justin Bieber when I was 12, but I never really reached the level of dedication that my classmates had. I guess I was the odd one out, but I do get a little sad sometimes when I think about how I will never be as handsome and rich as Bieber.
You are right, you'll never be. Just joking. Now that you mention it, maybe one of the reasons for lower self-esteem could be because fans are comparing themselves to their idols?
I think so. Imagine constantly comparing yourself with all these celebrities who are really the best of the best at what they do. Personally, I can only dream of being able to sing like Selena Gomez or dance like BTS. In reality, I won't be surprised if the windows crack the next time I head out for a karaoke session. I bet that people with fixed mindsets are likely to feel the effects on their self-esteem the most. Having such an impossibly far-off target surely makes everything they can do seem useless or pointless.
On the other hand, celebrity worship could also be helpful to those who adopt a growth mindset. Instead of feeling discouraged and upset, looking up to those successful celebrities can be quite motivating too. I can definitely see how they can be inspiring for one's self-esteem. There have been success stories such as 50 Shades of Grey that was written by a huge Twilight fan. In fact, the Twilight fanfiction she wrote served as the basis for the 50 Shades trilogy.
Oh my god, I did not know that. That's so cool. It's quite interesting how a different mindset can change everything.
Wait. Do the two of you think there might be gender differences as well?
I'm sure there are. Males do tend to have a more independent sense of self, while females generally have a more interdependent sense of self.
Yeah, I think you're right. Having an independent sense of self would mean that males are less likely to want to emulate someone, therefore having a lower intensity and frequency of celebrity worshipping among males. But for females, their behaviors might be determined by thoughts, actions, and feelings of others. And in order to fit with their social circle, girls are more likely to idolize singers with members of their peer group.
Oh, that makes sense. This also makes me wonder about how celebrity worship shapes our different sense of selves too. Their personal, relational, and collective selves.
In this context, the personal self is about how we differentiate ourselves from others by emphasizing on our identity as a fan. It could also be emphasizing on specific aspects such as loyalty to celebrity and appreciation of their music. In terms of the relational self, it will be about how you define your identity through celebrity-fan relationships. This is important as how you think others' perception of you changes how you think of yourself. So, for example, if you think that I have a negative view of you, then you probably would not feel good about yourself.
Actually, I feel that the biggest impact of celebrity worship is on the collective self. Fans tend to congregate into big groups, such as BTS's ARMY and Blackpink's Blinks. After identifying with a fandom, we tend to differentiate between in-group and out-group. This can lead to intergroup rivalry, such as when ARMY feuded with Blinks earlier this year on Twitter. So we were talking about the different levels of self-concepts earlier on, and I couldn't help but think of it in terms of actual, ideal, and odd selves. There's definitely some self-discrepancy going on around here somewhere.
Definitely. Like how Yong Han was saying about how he would never be as handsome or as rich as Justin Bieber, he was actually making a comparison between his actual self and his ideal self. Celebrity worship often shapes the development of one's ideal self. In comparing the ideal and actual self, many people see a discrepancy, and this inevitably contributes to the lower self-esteem that many fans face.
Then what about the out self? We haven't really talked about that yet, right?
There's recently been a lot of emphasis on how celebrity worship influences the odd self. In China, there was this huge crackdown on male celebrities that the government deemed to be sissy. The government really wanted a return to traditional concepts of masculinity, such as assertiveness and a physically imposing figure.
I guess even the government recognizes how powerful idols and celebrity worship can be in influencing the public.
Is this only in China? What about other East Asian countries like Korea?
Yeah, I'm curious to know if this happens in other parts of the world too.
So instead of banning idols, the South Korean government actually appointed BTS members as special presidential envoys. I think this really gives us a look into how cultural differences might possibly influence the perception of celebrity worship. Like seriously, it's two ends of the spectrum.
In addition to the crackdown, there were also the arrests of several high-profile idols such as Chris Wu, and I know that some fans are really distraught on whether or not to believe such news.
Wait, who is Chris Wu again?
Chris Wu is, or rather was, a famous Chinese-Canadian actor-singer that was arrested for sexual assault allegations back in August this year. Prior to the arrest, he had a huge fan base and was among the highest paid celebrities in China.
Man, that must have caused an uproar among his fans.
Yup. I think the fans haven't really come to terms with his fall from grace yet. I think they're still in denial about the rape allegations. It must be hard to believe someone we idolize could do such a thing.
I mean, I would be in shock too if one of my longtime idols turned out to be a criminal. My knee-jerk reaction would also probably be to deny the allegations, or to think that there must have been some sort of mistake or misunderstanding.
When fans build up such a perfect image of their idols, any form of wrongdoing like Chris Wu's is naturally bound to leave them in denial and cause discomfort. The difference between their perfect view of their idols and the jarring wrongs in their actions likely left fans feeling very upset and disappointed.
Celebrity worship sometimes really gets out of control, to the point that it's a disorder.
Yeah, excessive and dangerous behavior, such as One Direction fans cutting Zayn's name into their skin, glamorized by the hashtag #CutForZayn when he announced that he was leaving the band. There were also 6 suicides reported to be related to this news.
Such behavior is really worrying. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a celebrity's content and showing support for them, but fans should realize that there needs to be a limit to their devotion.
Fans need to realize that celebrities are human too, and they shouldn't be put up on a pedestal. It's stressful for both themselves and the celebrities.
Well, I totally agree on this point, and it's about time, so thanks everyone for the conversation.
Thanks for sharing. Didn't expect this 200 IQ coffee break.
Thanks everyone, and thank you to our listeners out there too. We hope you enjoyed your time here with us, and feel free to write to us about your experiences with celebrity worship. Goodbye!